Well, we're seeing tragedy after tragedy. Well, how in the world we need to praise everything or being politically correct or something like that? Nowadays, what we've seen to seems normal to say who is the hero and what is next. We seen a young woman getting slit her throat by some man, regardless of the color of the skin. Yeah, but the character, that's the most important thing. And I've seen this thing. And what else we have? Political violence, all right? I mean, Charlie Kirk and Kirst, the Ukrainian immigrant that got killed by somebody somebody born in this country, killed 12 times in jail, killed an immigrant, right? Now, what it seems like, you don't notice it. You don't notice who is who. How you get screwed over. And you have seen this. Okay, this is 9/11 that happens. 2 airplane crashes, 767s, but what's next? 737s crashing in Mexico, and you believe that instead of, having suspects to blame, the pilots in 2001 are the ones to blame, but then you switch the blame. Pilots are not drunk. They crash somewhere in Mexico. 737 MAX somewhere in Mexico. Not just 2, but 3, but 4. All the way up to the company that makes the planes, earning a Guinness World Record title for the most accidents. CEO never gets to blame. He's the hero. Gets awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. And you called him a hero, and the Guinness, and you believe Guinness are a bunch of pranksters turning the FAA into a joke? No, that's not right. What is it to now? Everything to settle in things to what it is to look around of your surrounding world, riding a bus or a train and public transportation in the USA, holding up a phone, and all the way ICE raids, washing the company that makes your plane. That's kind of crazy. That means washing out for a company that makes your plane, making sure that the plane is from the maker, that the CEO would just, okay, what would we be playing? We are all Goldman and Nicole Brown or Trayvon Martin. Boeing, on the other hand, is O.J. Simpson or Silverman, the guy that killed Trayvon Martin, right? So we're playing this game. We become the victims. The CEO who makes faulty products that fly is the one, you kill a bunch of people and a couple of plane crashes. Now it's okay to get away with murder. It is okay to get away with murder. In this timeline, having the guy who is from The Apprentice, the president that we have now, making America great, that means Boeing earning a Guinness World Record of most accidents means CEO of the company that makes the plane that killed your family members or your friends in one day, or that will kill traveling to Latin America or wherever it goes, gets away with murder, pled not guilty, awards a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and then the media say, or what the media say, or what the man in charge right now says is a total lie. It's a lie. The blame are going to be on foreign pilots, most likely pilots from Latin America, saying that, okay, it's the pilot's fault. Now with this, ICE raids, making sure your plane is not made by Boeing. But if it's made by Boeing, you get killed, the CEO gets some money, and he gets away with murder. That's how it works now. That is how it works. It worked in the first term. The two planes crashing, one in Ethiopia, one in Indonesia. Dude, in the first term, he gets away with murder. Last country in the bus to ground the Boeing 737 MAX is the USA. First country now to inspect the planes, saying that is messed up and ready to fly, the USA. Third crash happens in Latin America, and it keeps continuing in other places. Well, you have a country, next door neighbor. Instead of getting from renting, they're gonna freaking buy planes built in Mobile, Alabama, because the CEO that killed the passengers, you riding in Cancun or something like that, oil leaks in a plane from Aero Mexico, 787 crashes down, nobody's paid for. I mean, what else you gonna do? Airbus built a factory in Mexico. Most likely, 200% tariffs on Mexico for not buying faulty Boeing planes that are made in America. Yep, that's it. I mean, it switches from buying airplanes made in Renton to Mexico buying more planes made in Alabama because of the crashes and the CEO getting away with murder in the first place, right? So this should not be like this. It's kind of hypocritical. This is unchristian-like, or whatever it is. This is, being a bad Samaritan in some kind of way. But most likely, I will tell you to do this. Anybody now with all this political mumbo jumbo, ICE raids, political violence, Kirk being killed, the Ukrainian chick getting killed on a train. And one thing nowadays, making sure the airplane is not made by Boeing is kind of ridiculous. Why? You're gonna ride on a plane that if it's Airbus, the CEO gets away with murder, you die, or your friends, your family, or your parents die. they won't respond. They say, screw you, screw your family, and then Boeing right there gets away with murder. Your family members are worried, your parents, your kids, your friends die in a Boeing plane, and they get away with murder. It's like saying you have somebody that kills somebody that kills your friends, somebody that kills your parents, but that person that kills your parents gets away with murder. What is that person who gets away with murder? Referencing to Boeing. You are the Browns. Boeing is O.J. Simpson, right? So what else we need to do? The most likely, if things could get together, I know the reference of anything. I even say to somebody that I admire, I never made a YouTube video. It's good that we all get together, do some activities and that stuff. I could remember this scene of Mr. Miyagi and Mr. Miyagi and Hilary Swank playing as Julie. I remember the next Karate Kid. You know, the sequence between dancing and martial arts and all that stuff. I feel that this is the scene that I would say, look, I might just watch the movie again, that reference even to saying to one particular YouTuber. I know I have never made the video, but I'm going to say it right now, and I'm going to say it right there. Make sure to Justine, that's what I call her. Make sure that nowadays with this thing, a guy that have been 12 times in jail, slitting a young woman's throat with a knife. That's important to look around of your surroundings, whether that self-defense or whatever it is, the case may be. That's being crazy to go out carrying a gun on the bus, right? For some of your friends, look out if there's ice, if the person looks more towards Southern Italian references, that those people looking towards Southern Italian descended and beyond to look a bit like olive complexion, they get people like that. People with an olive complexion get screwed over. Yep, get screwed over. Look for ICE. What they're doing, they're screwing them over. People. And one thing, make sure that it's gonna be ridiculous. You go on a plane. Let's say, Justine, you go to Colombia. This is going to happen to you. It's going to happen to other people. Make sure the plane is not made by Boeing, because you're going to fill in Nicole Brown's shoes. Boeing nowadays filled in the shoes of O.J. Simpson. It's going to look more like the 1995 O.J. Simpson murder trial. Right? If that plane were to crash. Other than that, this is like the warnings to make sure of your surroundings, riding a bus or a train to see, in the United States, to see who is on your surroundings, just to see whether you want to just punch the guy in the face before he tried to do something. Make sure if your friends have some olive tone, make sure ICE is not going to mess around with your friends. Make sure that when you ride a plane, but that's not just in the United States, but this is a concern globally, making sure that the airplane you ride is not a Boeing. It's kind of ridiculous, but that's how the way you have to go nowadays. Because once you ride a Boeing and you get killed, the CEO of Boeing, imagine it's a person, the Boeing plane is faulty. That means that if Boeing were to be a person, that means Boeing comes out, kill the person, and what they're saying, oh, Boeing is pled not guilty for murder. He gets away with murder, and that's how you have to view now, right? That's how it works nowadays. In other words, be aware of your surroundings nowadays, That's how it works. That way, I could fly along, hope to God, saying prayers. One day, I would love to meet you who once inspired me, who actually read the third time for a book, right? So, thank you for sharing my life. For sharing your life to the world. Thank you for knowing you better. We all knows that this clip in the next Karate Kid, I don't know, we've been dancing tango lessons, whatever it is. I haven't did this for 6 years. I could take that in mind. And whatever it is that after you travel, yes, the woman that I showed the book that read it, I noticed it. I notice why I'm seeking for is that one day we have these precautions about this, making sure we're not riding in a Boeing plane because we know the outcome. And that is just one precaution, just to make it sure. It's kind of ridiculous, but it ends up looking towards that way after a person being killed for political reasons, after a young woman being stabbed by some crazy dude right there, and now we make sure that the plane that we ride in is not a Boeing. Just seeing that Boeing is OJ and we are Nicole Brown and Goldman. That's it. Other than that, that's all, folks, for today. Peace out. And see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe on Embargo Man. Goodbye, everybody, and stay safe.